Good morning, everybody. Audio checking, all good. Anyway, so I recently completed South Park: The Fractured But Whole. That is a fun title to say for your YouTube videos. And I wasn't going to play the DLC. I think it's weird. I paid more for this DLC than I did the actual game. Because I got this game in like a Black Friday bundle thing. Or I just bought a bunch of shit on Black Friday. And then I tore through this fucking game, right? And I normally don't even buy DLC. Because a lot of the time it's like not worth it. And I'm very spontaneous in my gaming. DLC is for like games I can't get enough of and I can't put down, which in fairness was how I felt when I completed this game. It's not often I'm so invested into a game that I want to keep playing. I'll just do random achievements like I did with this one. I was really into this game, but somehow after I completed the game, I went up to this little area, this little DLC bus area, where every time I walk by, like, some character would make a joke like, man, this DLC was supposed to be here however long ago. And, you know, that was a fun gag, and I finally go up to this stupid fucking... just to check the DLC out, you know, see if it's, you know, worth it. And, you know, I see it's like $10. I'm like, no, that doesn't seem worth it. And I start to back out, and then I realize I hit the wrong button, and I hit the confirm button. And then suddenly I just spent $10 on a DLC I didn't want. And I was like, what the fuck? So my situation with DLC is like, I don't really need to review it unless I want to. And I don't want to make a whole video about that on my main channel. So I could do GoodMorningSol videos for those, you know? So that's what this is. Because I already bought it, I might as well play it, you know? I bought and played from Dusk till Casa Bonita. And in this DLC, basically, your character, the new kid, and I'm just gonna speak as if you've already played the main game for this. So, if you go to Casa Bonita, basically Mysterion, his little sister is hanging out with the vampire kids. And if you haven't watched that episode of South Park, it's basically when Twilight was a big thing, there was a lot of little children pretending to be vampires. And as a person who was in high school or middle school at this time, I think it was still middle school, that there was a significant amount of vampire lovers. And I think South Park was capitalizing on that. But there's still characters in this universe, and they get this whole DLC dedicated to them, where they're basically the bad guys. One of them is having a birthday party, which is always weird in South Park or other shows when the characters have birthday parties, even though they don't age. Let's not think about that. He has a birthday party. Casa Bonita is basically this like restaurant slash, not a theme park, but like there's water slides and shit like that. It's based off of actual existing places. I think what I read on the South Park Wikipedia, that it's based on like an actual place in Colorado. So that's cool. So your character has to get into Casa Bonita still in his superhero outfit, because you and Kenny are still playing superheroes, and you're gonna beat up these vampire kids, even though I don't know if they're in on the game or not. And his dad, who's actually in the main game, he's trying to throw his son the best party ever with this vampire theme, and his dad is fucking hilarious. He's like, yeah, we're all having fun here. We're all having fun here. And throughout this whole thing, you gotta collect vampire relics to unlock secret doors. You run into Kyle, who his family, including his cousin, they're there. Fucking the coon is there, and you get one of the goth kids is there. Henrietta, I believe is their name. She gets to join your party, actually. So you get a whole new party member. You get a new class. You get to be a necromancer, which it automatically kind of throws the necromancer class on you and gives you a bunch of its moves. It's kind of shitty when DLCs are just kind of giving you this forced linear experience for games that are supposed to be obviously more open than that. But it is what it is. Um, it's not worth $10. I'll say that right now. Uh, I mean, if you're rich as fuck and you can throw money at whatever, but you know, in terms of gaming, like $10, I could have bought the best game of my life. You know, I've bought games that were just as good as the main game for $1 before. So just to put in perspective, I feel, considering I got such a cheap deal on the main game, I'm not like butthurt about it, but like I do think it does say something about gaming when, or the state of gaming in today's culture, when you can press two buttons and you just spent $10. I know that says something about microtransactions more, but considering I don't even look at those menus, but I bought this whole DLC on accident, so obviously it's on me because that's a stupid thing to do, and obviously I have my account already in there, so it's not as easy as I'm making it out to be, but I was a little bit upset by that. It was an annoying gripe, you know, but I was able to have a little bit more of this experience. You know, it wasn't a bad DLC, and considering I wanted more from the game after I was done, it fulfilled that desire. So I can't complain. There was a lot of good jokes in here. There's a fun mini game. There's this really fun bit where it's like you dive off a cliff into this water, and then like I think it's Cartman who's like, oh, he must be in the underwater level, and it's like a 2-minute bit that just shits on underwater levels. That was great. I like that. Other than that, a lot of the usual shit that's in the main game. Doing the same stuff, just collecting, taking selfies with everyone. The battles are kind of, I don't know. The final boss was a little. I don't really like the final boss. If you get there, they have like two or three like back-to-back bosses, and none of them are really that hard. I get that you could come at this point any point in the game, but if you're doing this post game like I was, you're super OP by the time you're here. Like my might is like 800 at this point in the game, and I'm just tearing through nonstop. And thankfully, there's a large focus on healing. Like throughout this whole game, there's not many characters that like heal, but in this DLC, all of these vampire kids can heal, and they'll drain your health for theirs. It's nonstop, but it's gonna be to the point where I was just taking out enemies like in one-hit kills. So like even if they were healing, it was like, okay, I just need to get my character to your character on the grid, and you're done. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my thoughts on this DLC. I know I've done DLC reviews before, but I don't think I've ever like got my scale down. So assuming if I was rating this out of 5, I'd give it like a 3. Okay? Again, I haven't played that much DLC in my life. I try to avoid it if I can. So I don't know. That's where my scale was at. I can't really compare it with a lot of things though. But anyway, thank you so much everyone. Until next time, with that, I leave you.